Looks good?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I will. Yeah. So, nice to have you. Hi.
Nice meeting you. Hello.
I put some notes for the introduction.
Okay.
Honestly, I put here, you're a friend of my parents.
Yes, I am.
And you're here with your husband
Yes.
in Europe.
Yeah.
And we actually didn't have the possibility to like actually get to know each other. Like we didn't introduce ourselves yet.
Yeah.
Nothing. So you know that I'm the daughter of my parents.
Yes, for
And
sure.
you know my parents, so
Yeah.
you know more than a lot of people. So and so I thought I could introduce myself, and then you can.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am 27 years old and very Austrian, but I've lived 1 year in Chile and 2 years in Germany, and right now I'm an independent consultant building up a consultancy to integrate sustainability as the business as usual, and also trying to do this podcast. Pause. So,
Yes.
I think that's basically about me. I'm very value driven. I like AI a lot. I like good conversations, and I think you're very interesting. So I would just ask you to introduce yourself to me, how you do it like with normal people.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rebecca. First of all, I'm happy to meet you.
Same.
I'm a friend of your parents for now 4 years back, and I'm happy to be here again. My name is Pauline Odee from Uganda. I'm a married woman with 5 children, 1 son and 4 daughters. I'm a Kenyan, but married to him from Uganda, and we've lived for 25 years now. I came to Uganda in 1997, and I've lived all along in Uganda. And I can tell you, there are interesting things in Kenya, but also there are beautiful things in Uganda. Yes, I'm 48 years old now, making 49th year in August.
Wow,
Yeah.
you look younger.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, again.
Maybe you can tell me more about, because I know from my parents, you've just founded a very beautiful, can I call it company or organization?
Yeah.
Maybe you can tell us more about that. SOPADAD, right? SOPADAD.
Yeah, SOPADAD. The organization I founded is called SOPADAD Initiative Uganda. We started in 2007. First of all, it was a passion for me to reach out to the children who were suffering, because I had worked in a school environment, and I had seen how children were suffering, especially the children who didn't have a proper background, those who had run away or in one way or another were abandoned by their parents. So some of them could come, you could clearly see the difference between those who have parents and those who don't have parents. Those with parents, they would come smartly dressed. Those without parents would come without shoes and with dirty clothes, sometimes torn clothes. And so when I looked at these differences, I felt I needed to do something, because coming from a Kenyan background where mothers are very keen on taking care of their children, for me it was pain to see that some children were really struggling and suffering. And I felt moved to do something. At one point I had really sleepless nights because of some of those children. And then in Uganda we have what we call stepmothers. I don't know whether you have it here more commonly.
What do you mean? What is that?
Stepmothers are mothers who bring up children that are not theirs. Most likely, like after separation, then the man gets another wife, and the previous one leaves children, and this new one has to take care of the children. And under normal circumstances, it's not easy to take care of children that are not your own, especially in African setup. And so this passion grew stronger, and I had to do something. So in 2007, we started with 10 children to reach out to them. Some were having no parents, others were only living with their grandparents. And then we came in, we helped with the school fees, we helped with some requirements, scholastic materials to help them be able to fit in a school setup. Some of them would buy them gifts like shoes, bags, whatever we saw that they needed, we met that need. And in 2018, I felt I needed now to make it official, because I was doing it as a person. My husband got involved, and now we went official, and we decided to register it.
Congratulations.
As an organization. Thank you very much. So we registered it, and now we started inviting more friends who can help us to come up with some school fees, some meals, and all that. And 3 years ago, a friend of ours gave us a big donation to build a home, because some of them eventually had to move to our home. And our home became smaller. You know, we have already 5 children, and then we were having more. So it became smaller, and we needed an extra space. And this friend of ours, who passed on 3 years ago, gave a will. In fact, she was from here in Austria, gave a will, a statement that for her money should come to me, so that I'm able to set up a home for these street children and those who are in need. And basically, we have now 25 of them who stay there on daily basis, and 35 are in different schools, because they are in secondary schools. And during holidays, they come to the house, and they're able to have meals, 3 meals a day, and then they're able to have the soap, the water. They're able to bathe well. They don't have a swimming pool like here, but they're able to have water and food to eat.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So you saw a problem in the real world.
Yes.
And took your responsibility upon yourself to really make an impact.
Yes.
You know what I was thinking? Because I was thinking concepts a bit, or like systemic changes also. There's this way of seeing a problem, and then the first step is always to make the first small thing you can do, helping the 10 children. And then you increase the impact by inviting more people, which is then a bigger scale. Every single person has an impact also in the organization, but of course you increase the impact. So I think I'm curious then to see how the journey goes, and maybe making it even more systemic impact, inviting more and more people, and making it a movement that children are taken care of by the society and are not left on their own, even if they don't have. But actually, funny enough, because I feel from people I've met from Uganda, through my parents, that Europe is often idealized. And I can tell you, we actually also have, it's very hard here also to take care of our stepchildren. Your phone is buzzing all the time.
Can we pause?
We can pause, yeah, sure. No, I wanted to share with you and give you some insight of the Austrian culture, how it's in Austria, because you might learn. Because in Austria we have similar issues, right?
Yeah.
You also still feel in Austria the privileges that I had with my parents, and other people don't have with maybe immigrants or poorer backgrounds where they didn't have as much. Because I mean, I see myself as very privileged because my parents are highly curious people, and every time I went home to them and said, oh my God, I don't like this subject, they were like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like like my dad was like, oh my god, this textbook is so cool, I need to buy it myself. So other people did not have the opportunity, for example with math, to then go home and say, oh, I don't understand this problem, can you explain this to me? Which I was always able to do with my dad, for example. So but you can still feel very small things in Austria. I think comparable, it's of course not as extreme where they don't have shoes or anything, but there's still these kind of things still occur. But what compared to, I guess, in Austria we have a lot of systems that try to catch children that are abandoned. It still happens, you know. It's like still quite, and more often than you would think, you know. It's not something that I feel like that part is hard to change. You can always try to make it reduce that number. But for example, we have this whole government-based system where we have to pay as a citizenship, kind of based on what we earn. We have to pay, right? That's, it exists globally, but in Austria it's very, very strict and audited. So there's a lot of audit processes, and everyone does it. And if you don't pay your fee, like to the government, if they find something, you have to pay horrendous fees, like enormous, and you get also prison. And it's very, I think this kind of, because we have this system, we also are able to get the money to the people they need, and really collect it on such a wide, so many people. And then the money is put, and because it's also controlled very with the double booking, and it's very, you don't understand how many controls there are. Like so many, like there are 10,000 of alterations, so many theoretical procedures. Like it's so slow, but it's secure or as secure. There can always happen stuff, but it's very controlled. And then they set up a system where the children are catched and then are given to a family who takes care of them. But it's actually not that hard to be a family who catches up, and it's always searched. So there's always a need for children to get a home temporarily, and they always try to also have, if their family still like living, to get the contact with them and try to not have this situation. And then you can also of course adopt, but that's only if the parents are completely out of pictures. So there are these systems, but a lot of these children are also supported by organizations that are also donation based, that are religious based, like Caritas, or that are based on donations, where they can really house also children that do not get these kind of parents that take care of them, to then have at least a home or a base where they get the shoes and stuff. So it's not something that, what you're building is not something that doesn't exist somewhere else. And you can definitely, you should not, I'm not trying to tell you this in a way that, Uganda is so much worse than Austria. I'm trying to tell you in a way, these systems still exist in Austria, and we still need to improve them every time. It's just it's the way to go. And it's, if you can build your organization up, you can make a huge impact, and you're doing it already, which is amazing. But I actually thought it would be interesting to also ask you, what are you doing in Europe right now? Like, why are you here? What's happening?
Before I tell you what I'm doing here in Europe, first of all, I want to say that we've had a success story. We have 2 engineers out of our SOPADAD initiative, and 1 teacher.
Wow.
And 4 nurses. There is 1 lab, and the others are also coming up. They're about to finish their school. So already we can see something coming up and bearing fruit. So, and I'm happy that even here that happens, because it's nobody should be left behind, surely. So if someone is abandoned or has nowhere to be, and there are others with space and can do something about it, I think it's the way to go. Now, why am I here in Europe? good question. I was invited by the founder of what we call My Fertility Matters from Munich. It's a doctor who initiated this program for girls on how to take care of their monthly periods and how to keep themselves clean. So it's basically the hygiene part of it. And when she told me I'll need like 5 days to have that meeting with her, I told her I would really come. It was an invitation that I had to respond to, because 2 years ago we started that program for our street children in SOPADAD house, and it has been very helpful to those girls that we keep. But also we extended it to different schools, and as I talk, we've met about 2,000 children, girls, who have benefited from this program.
Wow.
So yeah, so when she invited me, I thought it's good that I share with her that, but also we need for a boy child, because we feel a boy child is left behind. So she told me she will also invite a friend of hers who does for boys. So within those 5 days, we are going to have a report on how it's going in Uganda, but also learn how to handle a boy child. And it's from that I said I need to come to Austria and visit some of my friends, like your mom and dad.
That's nice.
Yes.
But interesting. Are then boys and girls like also like separated?
Yes, we do it separately, because this one has been purely for girls, because they have different experiences altogether. So I don't know what package a boy child has. Maybe at the end of the 5 days I will know.
Wow, super interesting to learn.
Yeah.
It's also interesting, of course, girls are also, it's both boys and girls, children, or doesn't matter which gender they have or identity they feel they have. They should always have support they need.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was so nice to get to know you better.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for sharing and introducing yourself. Yeah, lots to reflect also, I think, lots to learn.
Yeah, thank you too for inviting me for this brief interview. It was nice meeting you, and you're welcome to Uganda to visit us.
Thank you so much. I'll do my best.